Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a Shop My Stash. I'm committed to making this series work for me. I have been getting overwhelmed with the amount of products in my basket. As you can see, these are products that are not in my project pans, but that I wanted to get use out of, new products to test, old products from my collection. And when I restarted the series, I was taking inspiration from Chic Geek, who focuses on 4 to 6 products to add in since she's working on so many projects. And I thought that was an amazing idea. And then I end up with this situation. Like, it's absolutely stuffed full of products, and it has kept me from filming and updating the series because I'm not getting to use all of these products as many times as I originally wanted to. So we're doing a reset in today's Shop My Stash video and getting back to what I wanted the series to be for me. Again, inspired by Chic Geek, 4 to 6 products, because I'm working on about 50 project pan items and I cannot focus on everything at once. So first we're going to talk about what is in here. And all of this is going back into my makeup collection because I just need a clean slate to choose 4 to 6 new products to work on. So front and center, we have the ColourPop Sweet Talk palette. I've created so many absolutely beautiful looks. This is really hard to show on camera because of that holographic background to this palette. Absolutely stunning. It was so beautiful for spring and moving into the summer. I used it again today just to get one more use out of it. I am so happy to have this in my collection. Other eyeshadows I reached for just once or twice. I pulled this out because I wanted to use this shade in a look, Cherry Cola. These are my Makeup Geek eyeshadows, a Makeup Geek blush, and then this is a sample of Urban Decay Fireball, but these are the older Makeup Geek formula, of course. They recently had a rebrand. Although I only used that one shade that I pulled for the one time, I need a refresh. So this is also going back, obviously. Lastly, for eyeshadow palettes, I had in the Wet n Wild, Not a Basic Peach palette. This is not cruelty free. I wanted to just test it out because I've had it sitting in my drawers for so long and I don't love it. I'm considering quite a big declutter coming up. We shall see, because I'm already feeling anxious about letting things go because I'm a hoarder. But I don't love this palette, and especially since I was working on both of these at the same time. There's a lot of similarities, and the ColourPop formula is a million times better. So not cruelty free, and I really didn't love it either. I used the highlight in my PUR Bronze and Brighten palette quite a few times. This is a gorgeous summer highlight. These shades are very intense. I would mostly use those as eyeshadows. I didn't this rotation. I just focused on the highlighter, but I'm really happy I got use out of that. I had my Cover FX Blush Duo in Soft Peach. This was an absolute joy to work with. Wow, this formula is so pigmented, so blendable. I love both sides separately and mixed together. This was a really standout product for me in this rotation. I'm so happy to have this in my collection. Thank you, Steph, for sending this to me. I used this just one time. I would like to get more use out of it this summer, but not right now. I'm working on 3 different powders in projects. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte. I'm trying to use it up. As you can see, I do have a pan in there, but it is great for when I'm more oily in the summer. Right now, it's summer, but yeah, I need to focus on the ones in my projects. Now that we're focusing on the smaller items, I moved the camera down. This is the Touch in Sol No Problem Prime Essence Primer. This is a very watery, hydrating primer. I really liked using this on the days that my skin felt a little drier than normal after I did an intense mask or something the night before. I did use this quite a few times. I had my Too Faced Peach Perfect foundation in here. I have mine in the shade Porcelain, and it's not the greatest shade match for me, but as you can see, I have used quite a bit of this. These foundations are like really good value for your money because there is 1.6 fluid ounces in here instead of the standard 1 fluid ounce in a foundation. Anyways, so I really like this foundation. It's just not a good shade match for me, but I did get quite a bit of use out of it. The ColourPop No Filter Concealer. Mine separates all the time. I don't know if you can really tell that it's separated too much. I stir it around. It seems to still work fine once I mix it up. It's about half used up, so this is probably something I should use up relatively soon, just so it doesn't expire. But I really do like this concealer. It's a more full coverage matte concealer. I did get some use out of the Ciate Eye Lustre Creme Shadow in the shade Cupid. It is a purpley pink with a ton of gold shimmer in it. Super beautiful. These were the eyeliners I got use out of since my last Shop My Stash. I have an Essence Nude, a Ciate Black, Ardency in Gold, and an Essence Turquoise. I just pull for eyeliners as I feel I need them for a look if they're not in a particular project pan, which none of these ones are. So again, all of these are going back. Ooh, and another eyeliner, the Pretty Vulgar ink one. This I'm never going to be able to finish. There's a huge dip in there. I don't know if you'll even be able to see it that well. I think the packaging on this is really adorable, but it makes it hard to get the exact amount of gel liner that you want to use. But I did use this a couple of times. I used the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in Telepathy. I was inspired by Chic Geek yet again to pull this out of my collection and get some more use out of it. It pairs really nicely with one of the eyeshadows I'm working on in my Pan Those Eyeshadows series. And I also pulled out the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Highlighter in Hustla Baby, also sent me from Steph. And this is really beautiful. I only used it a couple of times, but it looks really great with the little bit of color I'm getting from the sun. And lastly, there was a bunch of lip products I used. I have the ColourPop Lippy Sticks in Frida. This is a great peachy shade. The ColourPop Ultra Satin in Alyssa. This is a medium pink. The Fenty Glow Balm in the original Fenty Glow. I've used this a couple more times since the last rotation. I wanted to keep this in. And it's just not my favorite gloss formula. I do really like it. I will keep it. I will happily use this up. But it's just a little bit thicker for my preference. I know it's called a gloss balm, and I should have realized that it would be like a thicker, balmy texture. It's just not a favorite. The NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in Athens is a beautiful pale peach. I used this quite a lot. I pulled out my Maybelline matte lipstick in Rich Ruby. I used this once or twice. It's a beautiful classic red shade, not cruelty free. And my Dose of Colors liquid lip in the shade Truffle I used a couple of times as well. So as you can tell, there was a ton in my Shop My Stash, way more than I originally intended. So let's go pull some new products to work on, and I need to keep it more minimal. Alright, firstly, this is the top of my Alex 9 drawer. It's too tall for my tripod, so this is why we have such an awkward angle. I recently used up a setting spray, so I'm ready to test out a new one. And I was thinking of testing out this one from Ofra. This is the Makeup Fixer. It says it's a light refreshing mist that keeps makeup in place all day long. I'm out of frame. So I think this is a good one to test out in the summer. And I have another new one from Smashbox that I got in my BoxyCharm I'm also excited to test out. But the Ofra one has been sitting up there unused for much longer, so I'm going to pull this one. Okay, this is where it's always really hard for me. This is my new makeup and skincare drawer. It is so incredibly full and I want to play with everything, but then I don't focus on my project pan items, and then when I focus on my project pan items I'm never testing anything, and that's how my drawer got so full to begin with. So I need to force myself to only choose 2 items this rotation so we can get back on track. And I've really been thinking about a couple items that I got in my Sephora VIB sale haul that I still have not tried. Like, this is so embarrassing for me. So I'm going to pull in the First Aid Beauty Hello Fab Pores Be Gone Matte Primer. I think this is going to work wonders for me now that it's gotten really hot and humid here where I live. And I've also been craving using this Buxom Wonderlust Primer Infused Blush in the shade Seychelles. It is a neutral kind of bronzy type of, sorry, knocked the tripod, type of color, and I just cannot stop thinking about this, hence why I bought it. And then it went into my drawer of shame, never to be used. So I'm going to pull this out and get lots of love on it over the next few weeks. A palette that I always love to pull out in the spring and summer, like usually June, July time frame, is my BH Cosmetics Weekend Festival palette, and I have yet to use this year, which is a damn shame because this is one of my absolute favorite palettes in my whole collection. So I'm going to pull this one out. Even though I'm trying to focus on so many eyeshadows, this just really deserves my love, to be honest. This is my blush and highlight drawer. Blushes are on the left. In the center are darker highlighters and cream ones towards the back you can't really see. And then these are my lighter highlighters. My lighter highlighters I can use all year round. They get the most love and attention from me. However, only with a tan can I use these ones right here. So I really need to buckle down and try them out. And if they're still too dark for me, then it's time to pass them along to someone with a deeper skin tone than I have, because or else they're just going to sit here for absolutely forever. The one I've been thinking about the most, because it is the one in this section that is not cruelty free, is the Wet n Wild Precious Petals. And it always draws my attention because it's super beautiful in the pan, but then I feel like it's a bit too dark for me all the time. And because they're no longer cruelty free, I really need to gauge whether this is a shade that I will be able to get a lot of use out of and eventually use up, or if it's just truly too dark for me and someone else would, one, get more use out of it than me and love it more than me, but also it will help me in my ultimate goal of making my collection 100% cruelty free. So I'm going to use this as much as I possibly can and determine if it's something that I am going to keep in my collection. Lastly, I want to pull a foundation, and the one I've been thinking of is my L'Oreal True Match Lumi in the shade N12. I don't think this is a great color for me, and I noticed that it technically expired in May of 2019. Now it does have SPF in it, and that is why it had an expiration date. So the SPF in here is no longer good, but I want to see, like, does this break me out now? Is this something I can realistically use up? This is my summer color, and luminous products I typically reach for in the winter. So again, I'm going back to my non-cruelty free products. Can I use this up? Or do I just need to come to terms with throwing this in the garbage? Because this is technically expired, I would not hand this off to somebody. So I need to I need to test it out. I need to form my thoughts. Okay, just to recap, I'm going to be testing out the Ofra spray, the First Aid Beauty primer, and the Buxom blush. I want to get some more love out of my BH Cosmetics Weekend Festival palette because it's an absolute favorite. And then I have two non-cruelty free products that only work for me in the summer, and I need to decide if these are something that I can realistically use up and keep in my collection or pass on the highlight and throw away the foundation. I already feel so much better looking at this makeup basket compared to before. There was just way too much in there. And if I can maintain just 4 to 6 products, then I should be able to get a lot of use out of these and my Project Pan items. So make sure to hold me accountable as we continue through this series. I'm going to try my best to get back to posting this every other week, but my uploading schedule is all over the place right now, so we'll see how that goes. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that I know, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!